Hey, fishy people. I'm breaking up these crypt plants, and I was just gonna go over what I do with plants when I get them. These were the plants that were in this 40-gallon in a couple of my past videos. So what I do with plants is, well, what I do with crypts, at least, cryptocorynes. Cryptocorynes can undergo crypt melt based on water quality changes, water chemistry, pH, nitrite levels, temperature, things like that. You can undergo crypt melt, and the plant will melt away aside from the root structure. It'll eventually grow back, but it's a pain in the butt. When I get my crypts, I normally don't like to buy plants in pots, because I really hate the rock wool. But when I buy crypts, I always buy them in pots. I buy them in rock wool. For some reason, it seems to help them acclimate. I always just drop these in my tank. I bury the very bottom roots just so that they don't start to mold and stuff, and barely into my substrate, maybe up to here into my substrate. And I'll leave them in my tank for 3 or 4 days, just like that, just to let them acclimate. After that, I'm going to break them apart. I'm going to open up this little pot, I'm going to take off all this rock wool, and I'm going to separate them into small plantlets. This is what I received. This is how many plantlets you can get out of one of those. That was a single potted plant. And this is how I do it. First off, if there's roots coming off the side, like here's, no, actually I don't have any. If there's roots coming off the side, I would cut those little side members. I'm going to cut off the bottom here because I don't want to break all of these roots. And once I cut off the bottom of that little pot, I can just pop this plug out. So once you get the plug out, start breaking apart the. Okay, so I was in the middle of that video and I ran out of batteries. But I was showing you how to split up cryptocorynes. After they've acclimated for a while, and I showed you that I cut off the bottom of this, you peel off the rock wool, and as you do that, you can see that, you want to be gentle, you don't want to hurt the plant, but you can see that there's just a bunch of different little plantlets there, and each of those can be separated. So I'm going to try and put this down and show you guys. Essentially, you just gently start opening up the plant. And as you do that, you can slowly pull them apart, and they'll separate from themselves, and generally you can pull, as long as you're careful, the roots will actually pull apart pretty easily and separate quite nicely. You don't actually end up breaking much. I don't know how to get the best view of this, honestly, but as you can see, you just keep doing that and they break up into as many little pieces as you want, essentially. And then you can plant these. These, if they've got, some super long, like this guy's got some super long roots, I'm probably gonna nip off the older browning ones. If I see any browning roots, I pull them off. If there's any real thick, green, more fibrous roots that have been growing out of the substrate, whatever the plants came in, sometimes I'll nip those off because if those get put underwater, they can rot. But yeah, that's how you do it, and then planting is real easy. I'll show you that in one sec. Okay, so to plant these guys, first off, here's one with really long roots I wanted to show you. These roots stick all over, but if I'm planting a plant with long roots and I'm not trimming the roots, I fold them up. Just gently fold them up. You don't want to break them, but fold them up. Next thing I'm going to do is grab them with my planting forceps. If you don't have planting forceps, I highly, highly recommend you go get some, because they make life just a whole lot easier. When I grab these guys, I'm going to get it as straight and narrow as possible, run my planting forceps along the length, pressing down gently. You want the end of the forceps to go to the end of the roots, because you don't want to be pushing roots into the soil. You want to be pushing the forceps into the soil. So you find your spot, push it in, and just pull your forceps out. And you know, planting's as easy as that. This guy's a big one, so it doesn't want to go in that well, but voila. A lot easier to do that with really long tweezers than your fingers, because the second you let go with your fingers, there's a big old hole, and that plant's just going to flow right out. But yeah, that's separating cryptocorynes. You know, that one plant turned into all these guys. And when you disperse them like that, you just get faster growth. Those guys are going to each bush out faster than one larger plant growing normally, because these guys, the ones that were on the inside, didn't have a place to go before, and now they do. Yep, about to trim up this tank, took the top off. I guess that's all I wanted to say. So have a good one. Hope your tanks are doing well. Bye.